Omo baby Jai this for me, yeah. Omo guess who part this for me, yeah. Do it for a real ass nigga, baby. Won't you do it for a real ass nigga, baby?
Today, we have two of my very good friends. This possibly our first episode for Outside the Box, and I'll just like them to introduce themselves. So I'll start with my G Myron.
Hey,
So
what up?
who basically is Myron, and what are you up to now? What's your goal?
Myron, full name Myron Edupoku, is a young black, what should I say, revolutionary on the way up. Young black revolutionary.
Yeah, bad energy.
Yeah, Charlie, I'm just, I'm in the field of finance, trying to understand better how to, generate wealth and also teach people what I know in the long run. That is what I see as my purpose, just to help teach how to build wealth. So that's what I'm on.
That'd be some good. Yo, Eugene, tell me something.
Madon. Sorry.
Bad guy.
So I'm Eugene. Full name Eugene Asiedu. I'm from Ghana, Charlie. Ghana for, I'd say.
Peace out, bro. Peace out.
If it's so, Charlie. And then I'm a software engineer by day. Night time, the meeting for assembly.
Easy, imagine. Easy.
I'm still trying to figure it all out. So yeah, that's all.
Oh, great. I had this topic. It's not a topic, but a question, and it's been on my mind, and I was like, yo, let me throw it out to the bros and let's see what their views about this. Because inherently, this podcast is basically about the fact that we are all in boxes. Like, people don't appreciate it, but because of social conditioning and other factors like your set of knowledge, you have a box you place yourself into. So basically what this platform does is to allow us to express our minds, and also to see if we can think outside our own social box. Yeah, so that's basically the name, Outside the Box. So the question today is, would you sign a prenuptial agreement? And basically, I would like to see your views about it. This is simple. Would you sign it, yes or no?
Yeah, prenup.
Charlie. This question is tough, but it depends. It's
boy, soften down. Okay. Easy.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would love to sign it, and it depends on whoever I'm getting involved with, Okay. So if I'm coming up with a person, we started something together, we grew up together, we started businesses together, basically we built a house or anything together, it would be very hard for me to sign a prenup with a person because I have this mentality I'm going to live life with the person. But Charlie, say my bro, and I'm at some point and I meet this woman, I want to settle down with her. Charlie, prenup there, we will sign it.
Okay. Sign it. For sure. All right, Myron, what's your take?
Yeah, I love everything Eugene said, because at the end of the day, it's all facts. Like, people will say, oh, I won't, I will, but sometimes you may feel like you've invested a lot of time with a certain person and they've shown you a lot of good characteristics and you feel like you trust them. So getting into something like that, you feel like this bond can be forever. Mm-hmm. But a personal thing that I would do is, of course, make sure you put a lot of effort into screening that person. Mm-hmm. But still, I think you should still sign a prenup, just because the only constant in this world is change. Everything else, else changes. Change is always there. So I would, but, do it in the right way so that none of us will have any spite after whatever happens may happen. So yeah, I would.
For me, I would say the day before I found out, I actually read more about it, I would have said, no way, I'm not going to sign a prenup.
Right,
That was
right.
my opinion, let's say a week ago. But
Yeah.
now I'm more and more inclined towards signing a prenup, and we will delve deeper into that in a bit. I want to know the pros you see in signing a prenup, and then we look at the cons. So you can just give like 2 pros from your opinion or your perspective why you would want to sign a prenup.
Dealing with pros, one for sure is there's a sense of security, you know, and whether probably you may not be financially well off and your partner may be. So, you know, during the split, there might be ways you can also benefit from that too. You get me? It's not always like, oh, the girl, because if you guys ever heard, Adele recently got a divorce from her
Yeah,
husband,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he made like 100 and coins million.
yeah. You know about yeah,
You
for sure.
know, so yeah,
When did this
so
happen?
this was,
Yeah,
I want to say 2 months ago. He
yeah.
made like $100 million. And then let's take it away from like the money and all, because
Easy, bro. Easy. Like,
we're not trying to be like little leeches, vampires after our
yeah,
people.
yeah.
But that is a pro. And another pro would be um Charlie. Another pro would probably be it can kind of like urge you guys to probably, you know, work things out, if that makes any sense, you know, because
Yeah,
looking at all you've invested, just to let
yeah,
it go, sometimes you might want to take another route to try to
yeah.
figure things out before you just jump the
I'll
gun.
actually come to that. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
So,
That's a good
so I
point.
want to say that is my second pro. And my cons, you can get zeroed out. You can take a crucial hit in your wealth
Mhm.
if you're doing it with the wrong people. And you know, a lot of people are deceitful. So that's why I made mention, like, you have to screen the person, because if
Mhm.
you end up in a relationship with someone who has different motives than you and is trying to get away with the bankroll,
Yeah,
that's a big L. So another con is, you know, it obviously, depending on your status in life, it can bring a lot of fake people around you, a lot of
true,
snakes.
true.
And you know, if you don't have a prenup, you're gonna get bitten.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's another one I can say.
Eugene, what's your take? What's your take?
And I'm still thinking of my pros and cons.
It's not. I think what is easier for me, yeah, is like
Yeah.
when I put in my mind like, yo, if a brother was asking me like, bro, why are you considering a prenup? What would I tell him? And for me, it makes it more easy.
Yeah,
So I'll say, look at the history, look at the facts, like look at cases. Like it's it's more often that a rich or a successful or an upcoming dude or woman, and in most cases, to be factually, it's men. It's mostly on men. They end up losing majority of their wealth after a messy divorce. You get it? And I also think that if we also look again, I like to deal with numbers. My friend always says that she's like, you like the numbers. If you look at the numbers right now, I would say that statistically, the success of a marriage or the probability that a marriage is going to end up in divorce is roughly around 3 to 4 in some countries on the worst case, and maybe 2, or I don't know if there's 1 out of 10 though, but like from the stats I checked out, I looked at 3 to 4. Now I would ask you that if you were going to take a plane and you had 3 out of 10 chance of dying, would you take the plane? And I asked a couple of friends and they said no. So I'm like, okay, if that is how you feel, if you were going into a marriage and you know you love your wife, you love your husband and everything, would you look at that possibility that this could actually might end up in a divorce? Because we are looking at the realities, and like, just to make things more clear, we have a prenup agreement. So that's what I would tell my friend, like a brother, like, that asked me this question. So I don't know if you have anything to add apart from what I said, like what would you also tell a friend? Like if you wanted to advise him, like, yo, why should I consider a prenup?
I mean, for me, I think the only point I would say is nothing is permanent in this life. Like nothing's so permanent. Today you're healthy, tomorrow you're sick in bed. Today you're alive, tomorrow you're dead. Today you're together, tomorrow you're separate. So you never know how life is going to end up. You know, it's very a lot of changing things in life nowadays. It's like it's crazy, and people are really moving fast, Charlie. People are moving fast. So
speed of light.
Nobody is slow, cry. Everybody's there.
I swear, guys. So you better to close up your. I mean, I didn't want to say a-hole, but that's how you gotta protect it. You have to protect your ass, you know. Once you're a young man coming up and you find yourself a good woman, today she might be good, tomorrow she might be bad. Or today she's just hiding up.
Hard to say, man. It's cringy as fuck, but like that be the reality. Like you don't know, G. Yeah,
you can never know. That's why I say
it can also come from us, the guys too. So
yeah, for sure. Definitely. Like I mean, we also have cases where a nigga was dead poor and he was with his wife and they became wealthy and then he said, "Oh, I'm out." He gets it. Which is fucked up because like I remember I told you like there was a video I watched and the lady was basically saying that she was with her husband. They had married for 10 years, right? And the dude was doing nothing. Like he was always playing games at home, you know, like, you know, just handy kind of jobs. You get what I'm saying? And after 10 years, the guy lost his mom or dad. And then he went deep into depression. So it was at that point where the woman said, "I'm out." Okay. Now she says, "I'm out." 2 years later, she meets the dude. The dude has a car. He's bought a new condo in their city. He's working with a programmer, like a software company. Like the dude has got his life all sorted out. And she even said physically he looked different. Now the girl feels like shit. Like I wasted my 10 years with this dude. I don't have children. I have 9. And now I'm in a worst case scenario. And I mean, people might say that like, yeah, it's life, it's karma, like whatever. But I kind of like empathize with her because, bro, 10 years. So in that case, if she had signed a prenup, but even in this case, if she signed a prenup and the nigga blows after he leaves, she's still not getting 9.
Yeah, bro. That always goes back to the fact that your life is in your hands. You shouldn't tie, even his success shouldn't necessarily be tied to you because he was on his own when he did all of that, made all of those changes. You have the same 24 hours, get shit done. Get shit done.
Right. People don't like really understand the concept of a prenup. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talk to people, like even me, before I read about it, people think it's
a week ago. I honestly, if it wasn't until that video.
But when you dig deep, you realize that it's just an agreement between two people before they get married as to how they deal with the situation after a possible divorce.
And the unfortunate part of it is like it doesn't really go into like, you know, it really goes into just material things and, you know, monetary things. So that's why people place so much emotion on it because you can't say how we're going to divide our children or anything in a prenup. You get me? Yeah, so that is why there's so much like tension towards it.
It's more finance-based stuff.
Yeah,
so it's like it's
materialistic thing.
Reservations about it. Yeah.
So you have to understand that like it is what it is. You get me? It's just this is what we've done towards our finances. If we are to split, like this is the agreement we have. It doesn't mean we have to hate each other because at the end of the day, I took what I was worth and then gave you a certain percentage, or I took everything if that's how we signed it. And that's like the type of situation we set ourselves up for. You know, it all goes down to understanding what you're doing. Like people don't really understand a lot of stuff that they get into nowadays. And that causes that confusion.
But Eugene, if someone tells you, or like a lady tells you, or a man or a guy tells you that, yo, if I sign a prenup, it's saying that I am open to the possibility of getting divorced. What will be your reply to that? Because in case, why would I sign a prenup? Because like it means that, yeah, if this thing goes south, why should I even think that it will go south? What would you say to that person?
I mean, bro, I don't know if you're watching TV nowadays. I don't know if you're nowadays. If you're watching YouTube videos, but it's crazy out there. I mean, relationships are just coming to an end just because of stupid reasons. People are not taking the time to really mature, trying to take the time to get to know each other. It's becoming a lot more physical and very shallow nowadays. So by the time they end up in marriage, it's like, oh, I didn't know this is the kind of person you were. It's like, I didn't know this side of you, I didn't know you were this dirty bastard. So you wouldn't see it during those times.
Crazy, man.
So now I think people are getting the whole idea of prenups because they are not taking the time to get to know each other much better during the relationship stages. So it's as a way to secure, protect themselves, in the future, in case something happens. But for me, if someone wants to sign a prenup, I'm all up for it, like 100%. It's important because you never know. As I say, life is changing constantly, and you can never tell the future. So yeah, for me, definitely, I think I'm going for it, unless there's a reason not to. Even that one,
it's like it's an A plan, and not to could be a B. Yeah. But the A is like it's like a priority. Like you just want to make sure that.
And I also think that now people don't believe in the whole concept of marriages. Like
it's true.
People don't really believe in the whole concept of staying together, like me and you forever or something.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's true. So they believe like, okay, I'm with this person for a while. If it doesn't work out, I just go. Yeah. So no one is actually taking the time to like, okay, we have issues. Let's figure it out. Let's see a therapist.
Figure it out. Let's work it out. Yeah, I mean, people think it's easy cake to be married to someone for 33 years or 35 years.
Yo, it's not.
Like, bro, like if you talk to them and they tell you that, look, these are the things, and we almost. So I feel like the same way that we say, why would I think about that possibility of getting divorced, right? It's the same way that we should use the same energy to understand that previously it was so difficult to get a divorce. There were social restrictions, cultural restrictions. Like, how many people got divorced and got remarried? You get what I'm saying? How many people got divorced and then had like the cultural part, especially from where we are from? Like, it's a big deal. You get what I'm saying? But now, in this 10 of the last decade and the decade before, it's so easy to get a divorce, or it's easier to get a divorce.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I feel like as a guy or as a woman, or like as someone who is looking into getting married, you should also understand that it's really easy for my husband to say, I don't like something, I just want to bounce, and he just calls his lawyer and the divorce is done. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that it is very necessary to couple both standards, and then realize that, look, we are in a different time now. And if you still believe that divorce is not an option, blah, 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 fine, that could fit your circle. But if it happens, over.
Going to that, I was watching I don't know if you guys watched this series on Netflix. It's not a series, I think just a short film about Michelle Obama. So she was going on a tour talking about becoming Michelle Obama. She wrote a book. And she was going on a tour, so they did this short film about it. And in that short film, in one of her interviews, a woman asked her, so how's it been like for you and Barack Obama? You guys always come out there, you look good, you look happy, you're smiling into the cameras. It's like everything is working out perfectly. And she said one thing. She said, like, most people don't know this, but we're seeing a therapist.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like we had so many problems, like we had to see a therapist to figure it out. Otherwise, things would have gone to shit.
Yeah, bro.
And that's like Michelle and Barack, like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm surprised though, because I feel like the higher you go, and you're a public figure, and like for example, he's the president of the States. He was the president of the States. Like a divorce is a bad like paint on your picture. So for them, even at a stage where they actually felt that they want to divorce, the pressure of like being Obamas and being the happy face and everything kept them together. How much more me and you where we do on our side? Like
Guy.
me and you where we just married this on side for
And then no Bahamas. Then no Bahamas.
no Obamas. You get what I'm saying? Like nobody like because
Yeah,
well, I can tell my parents that I didn't want to be in the marriage no more. I mean, then we'll talk, oh yeah. But right now, it's easier to tell my parents that than to tell them years before, or they tell their parents. So I really get what you're saying. It's facing reality.
And going back to like that, therapy, talking about it. That's why I stress on this. But if you're gonna go into a long-term relationship with anyone, right? I feel like screening, like knowing what you want. Don't go into a relationship. I know a lot of dudes go and try to lock a girl down just because they can have access to sex. Like it gets that bad, you get me? Like,
Yeah, consistent.
Yeah, it's like, and it's just because I can get some. But if like at the end of the day, you don't want to get married to her or something, but like just so you can continue to have access to sex, you take away what you truly want and just submit to this. It's gonna be bad at the end of the day. Like you're forcing yourself to be in something that in the beginning you didn't even want. You get me? So screening, like if you want a long-term relationship, I just want to, fuck around. Be honest with that person, bro. Like, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be scarce when it comes to women. Like, if someone doesn't want what you want, okay, go. I'll find someone, and you can find a woman who just wants to have sex with you.
That's the point. Like, I think that like, socially conditioned, like all this stuff are stuff that is being boxed into us. Like prior to like my journey also into self-development and all this stuff, I used to have this like it was always about like there's always this fairy tale person and it's like, yo, this is who you're
unicorn.
Yeah, like that kind of shit. But
Disney.
Then I started like when the more you listen, the more you read, the more you see like people's stories, you realize that I honestly don't feel that adage or that popular conception that there's one person meant for you or for me. I really don't believe in that shit now, because I've realized that people change. So even if at a point, like at this time, she was meant for, maybe the kind of person you're growing into might not fit that person.
Exactly.
So it comes back to Myron's point. Find yourself, find what you're looking for, find who you are. And then you realize that there's so much choices, there's so much possibilities. And then you realize that, yo, I can do this, I can go where, or I can do that. So I think in conclusion, the prenup question, as we talked about, it doesn't just only depend on your feelings, because at the end of the day, you have to discuss it with your partner or your proposed partner to be. You get what I'm saying? But then if it's something that you really, really believe that it should be an option, I feel like you should be able to express yourself. And I would say this, I'm always open to people disproving me. I mean, I spoke to a couple of my friends, the female friends, and they still haven't given me solid facts, especially when it comes to religion, because we are Christians, and it's like, it's easy for people to use the religion card or the Christian card. But unfortunately, I'm not there. Like, I'm not, or should I say, more inclined to being restricted by what my faith necessarily demands. And even that one, there's a question mark. I didn't see anywhere in the Bible that they said that you shouldn't have a prenup. I think maybe the argument is that they are one and they cannot split. And anyways, so yeah, what's your final take? Yeah, Myron.
Yeah, like just to roll over what you said, we are one, we cannot split, but if we don't put in the effort and we let things go to shit, you don't have to stay in the relationship, Another thing is like searching for someone who's trying to grow and mature with you, you get me? If you put your purpose, your passion first, a lot of girls like who knows? But I know that women are attracted to ambition. Like if you're a stand-up guy and like, you know, you don't always try to prioritize, let's say, her in most instances about what you believe is like your purpose, and everything you around your life will build up around that. Your love life, your relationships with people, your wealth, your success, all of that can obviously lead you to a happier life, so you wouldn't really have to be in a situation to, you know, get a divorce. So it's all a spectrum of, you know, everyone has a perspective, but you gotta just be smart before you get into anything, you know. Prenup, pro prenup though. Pro prenup.
Yeah, you know they feel lift up the hand fully, but for sure they pro prenup, man. Oh, you just, what's up? Let's close this shit up. What's your final take?
Charlie, Myron talk. Charlie, me, so I don't get anything more out to that, but I think, say the question for me be, why are we young men now asking these questions? You know.
Ooh.
So that's it for me. It's like
we
are now getting into the stage where we have to find someone to be with and would settle with that person. We've not even gotten to where our dreams and our passions are exactly, and we're already starting to ask these questions. And it means that society is like really bringing up a lot of serious things, you know, for us to think about.
That's true.
I also think one of the main things is that people are becoming more individualistic, in the sense that people are just looking much more into themselves, and there's a lot of selfishness around.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people enter relationships or they get married, at a point when they're supposed to overlook their selfishness to really work out things to make the marriages work, then it becomes more of like, Charlie, I'm tired. I want to get out. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why it's like making more young men question themselves. Do I want to be in a long-term relationship? Do I want to get married early? You know?
What if someone is cheating on me?
Bro,
huge questions, bro. Like we're gonna go into that. Like there's more like real questions that we need to go into.
So in conclusion, I would say just know the person you're going to be with and protect yourself. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with protection. I'm also Christian, but I don't think I'm not saying I'm very well read in the Bible and everything, but Charlie, if you have a chance to protect yourself from any future things from damaging you, just do it. You know. Yeah,
right. That's true.
Okay, so that's it from the boys today, and I want to know your opinions too, and just like let's dialogue, because I still feel like there's still room for us to think beyond our boxes. So now we're in this box, and we want to see your box and see if we can think together outside our boxes. So that is it for this episode.
Baby, I'm down for you. I didn't even die for
Peace
you.
out. Peace out.
Just to show you that my love is true. I know you've been through hell and back. But baby, my love's intact. Others broke my heart before. Only you can mend it back. Now bitches be running back. We just get our money.